Hi guys, and welcome back to another video where today we're going to be predicting the scores of week 33 of the 2020-2021 Premier League season. And this week, football has been saved.
Football's been saved, guys.
It was a close call, dodged a bullet, but there we are. We survived for another few seasons at least. Nathan, currently it's Wednesday evening at the time of recording. There are still games going on in week 32, so unfortunately we won't be able to bring the updated league table as such. But before we get on to week 33, Nathan, how well so far have we been getting on?
Oh, it's grim. It's grim. 2 points in 7 games. That's horrible. No perfect scores.
Not great. And for myself, just the one perfect score. 5 points for me, Nathan. So far being the Manchester United 3-1 victory against Burnley. Currently Spurs losing at home at half-time between themselves and Southampton, the Saints. But representing the viewers last week was LFC 96 YWNA, currently on 5 points himself. But he has also got that a Spurs 4-0 victory, so that's not going to happen now. Maybe they'll turn it around in the second half, but we shall see. Haven't got an updated league table for you this week. We'll do that all in next week, so let's just crack on and make some predictions.
Okay, so first up at 8 o'clock on Sky on Friday is, in their American name, the Arsenal Gunners going up against Everton. Quite a tricky one this, 9th versus 8th. Arsenal, you just don't know which team's going to turn up. Aubameyang still out. He's going to be out for a while, I think. But Lacazette is free running with the scoring.
But Lacazette is injured as well.
Lacazette is now injured,
out with, I think it's a hamstring injury, so it looks like he'll be out for this week.
Yes, there's not a lot of striking options anymore for Arsenal. So, personally, I think Everton have got this. I mean, Arsenal haven't lost a game in a while, to be fair, and they're leaking goal. Well, defence has been okay, but they're not scoring too much. 2-1 Everton.
Yeah? Well, I'm going to go the complete opposite of you, Nathan. I'm actually going to go for a 2-1 victory to the Arsenal Gunners, as it were. You say Lacazette is out, Aubameyang as well. However, looking at Everton, they're just not convincing me. 3 draws in the last 3 matches. Home against Spurs, away against Brighton, and at home against Crystal Palace as well. Whereas Arsenal, 1 defeat in their last 6. They had that fantastic away victory against Slavia Prague, 4-0, which they were brilliant, and maybe they'll continue that form, bringing it into this week. I know that they drew 1-1 against Fulham, which wasn't great for the Gunners in that one, but I think they will win this one, and I think they'll come away with that 2-1 victory. Next up, we got the first of the Saturday fixtures taking place at 12:30 on Saturday. BT Sport, this one. Liverpool coming up against a resurgence Newcastle United, although Newcastle is touch and go whether St. Maximum is going to be available for this one. I think he's got a bit of a swollen ankle, so Newcastle moving up the table, currently in 15th position with back-to-back victories against West Ham at home and Burnley away. Prior to that, a good draw at home against Spurs. And in those last 6 fixtures, they've only tasted defeat once, which was a 3-0 reverse against Brighton. Liverpool, on the other hand, up into 6th position. They're going to want to get into those Champions League positions now. Alexander-Arnold, his fortunes have turned around, providing assists, etc. He's looking really good. Defensive, they've conceded a couple of goals in their last few fixtures. Prior to that, they did have 2 clean sheets though. But at home against Newcastle with St. Maximum out, I think that Liverpool are going to sneak this one. They may even get a clean sheet, so I'm going to go for a Liverpool 2-0 home win.
I'm actually going to go for a 2-1 here. I just think something's going to sneak through once again. That Liverpool defence, yes, they did clear up against Arsenal and Wolves, but recently, including against Leeds, they have been leaking goals here and there. And I think that, they've only kept 2 clean sheets in 6, so I got a feeling something will go through, but at the end of the day, Liverpool should be winning this one 2-1. Next up, we have West Ham versus Chelsea. Now, Chelsea back into the top 4, of course, drawing last time around to Brighton, 0-0 draw. Lackluster, boring that was. And then West Ham losing to Newcastle, surprisingly. Who would have thought that, considering their recent great form? But they're now down into the into the Europa League. So where do you go with this one? I think it's going to be tight, to be honest. 2-2. I mean, the Chelsea Blues, I forgot to say the Liverpool Red Sox earlier as well, but the Chelsea Blues, they're just going to, I don't know, I think it'll be a tale of two halves really, so 2-2.
2-2. I'm going to go for a draw as well, Nathan. In their last fixture, of course, they did come up, it was 0-0 against Brighton, but the match bus, or the players' bus was held up outside with that the demonstration that took place outside Stamford Bridge, and the turnaround of the Super League and everything. That's where it all, you could say, pretty much started there, and online on Twitter, etc. But in this fixture, I think West Ham, they have been leaking goals recently. Prior to this sort of phase of, last 6 matches, before they were, last 5 matches, you could say, defensively they were very, very good. However, they have been leaking goals. At home against Chelsea, 4th against 5th. I think it's going to be very, very cagey, so I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Next up, we've got the final of the fixtures on Saturday, I should say. Sheffield United, who are already down, you could say, against Brighton. Brighton, there is a possibility of them still getting dragged into it, but I think they're going to have enough to survive another season in the Premier League. Brighton don't concede many goals, as we saw against Chelsea earlier in the week. I think they'll have the upper hand on Sheffield United. They got a little bit more going forward, the likes of Trossard, etc., who's been excellent. Mopé as well. So I think they're going to narrowly win this one 1-0. Sheffield United back in the Championship, currently on 14 points and 5 defeats on the trot.
Yes, officially relegated now, Sheffield United. Heckingbottom, will they keep them at the end of the season, because it's been completely dire since Chris Wilder left? But I mean, Brighton, hipster football club of the Premier League, they love to talk about their expected goals, their fluid style of play, and they'd rather play really lovely football and lose than just have 20% possession and win 1-0. So I think the expected goals are going to come in this one, and I'm going to say a 3-0 Brighton victory, probably the highest victory I am ever going to give to Brighton ever. But anyway, moving on, next up we got Wolves versus Burnley at midday on Sunday.
Talking about that Brighton match, they did beat Newcastle 3-0 on the 20th of March.
Very true, but I did not predict that. I'm actually saying they're going to win 3-0 in this one. But anyway, midday, Sky Sunday, Wolves Burnley. Burnley, last time around, you could say they lost an upset to Man United. Man United haven't won at home against them since 2015. That's 6 years. Absolutely mental. But I don't think anyone saw that coming. Wolves...
Well, I did. I had a 3-1 victory for Man United.
Well, you did, very true. But Wolves, you just don't know with them. Yes, they're starting to gather form, but they had a tricky run in of fixtures before then, playing Liverpool, West Ham, Aston Villa and Man City, and then easier fixtures coming up, but they're only 1-0 wins. This is difficult. I'm going to say a 1-0 Burnley.
1-0 Burnley?
1-0 Burnley.
Wow, and Burnley are in 17th position. There is still that chance of them being pulled into
I just think Burnley, it's Burnley, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be a tight affair. Wolves, there is a little bit of speculation with Nuno possibly going to Spurs in the close season, but I think that Wolves have just got enough to beat this Burnley side. They are at home. It's going to be very, very tight. I'm going to go for a Wolves 2-1 victory in this one. Next up, at 2 o'clock on Sunday, we've got Leeds at home against Manchester United. Now, if the fans were in for this one, they'll probably be outside. There'll probably be some protests outside, but
Battle of the Roses.
Early in the season, I think Manchester United won this one 6-2. I don't think it's going to be, there's not going to be that many goals in this one. I can see the Red Devils winning this one. Away from home, the way they attack, okay, Leeds are going to come at them. That's you could see a lot of goals in this one, but I'm going to go for a Red Devils win, and I'm going to go for a 2-1 victory. Interesting.
Leeds are actually in exceptional form, 5 wins.
Haven't lost in
5, I should say. And then Man United currently in second. Their form is absolutely unbelievable.
5 wins.
But Woodward is out now. I think a lot of Man United fans are really happy with that.
I think they are.
Yes, they're having a party up there in the northeast of the country, you could say, in a way, but this is difficult, Battle of the Roses, there's always something going on in this one. This would be unbelievable if fans were allowed in. 1-0 Man United, there you go. Anyway, moving on. Next up, we have the 7 o'clock on Sunday. Horrible time that is.
Oh, imagine if fans were in there. Well, actually, it is a Birmingham derby, so it wouldn't be too bad.
That's fair enough. I mean, they're like, what, 10 minutes down the road from each other, Villa and West Brom. Oh yeah, speaking about Man United, I forgot to say it a minute ago. Manchester Red Devils, there you go. But yeah, Villa, West Brom. They are starting to win some stuff, picking up some surprise results like beating Southampton 3-0 somehow, and then beating West Brom 5-2. But Villa, they're inconsistent, 1 win in 6, but they do perform against the clubs that are below or around them. I'm going to go for 3-0 Villa.
Really? Wow. Yes. Even though that they've only won 1 in 6. Yeah, West Brom, 2 wins on the bounce. They did have that fantastic victory against Chelsea. That was Tuchel's first defeat, of course, and then 3-0 against Southampton. Very good. We know that Southampton currently beating Spurs, so difficult one to predict. I think there will be goals in this one, but I'm going to go Desmond's. So 2-2. Really, I don't have any idea who could win this one, so I'm going to have to sit on the fence and go for Desmond's in that one. And the final fixture of this game week, only 8 games to predict. Of course, we've got Leicester City coming against Crystal Palace. Now, Crystal Palace, for the past, 6, 8, 10 weeks have been really difficult to play against. Leicester City in 3rd position, just 1 point above Chelsea and West Ham, so they're really going to have to pull out all the stops if they want to hang on to that final or stay in the Champions League positions. I think they will beat Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace only 1 victory in their last 6.
Really, they have nothing to play for.
Well, and Leicester have only had 2 in their last 6, but Palace losing 4-1 at home against Chelsea last time out, and prior to that they had 3 draws against Fulham, Manchester United and Everton. That single victory was against West Brom, and they also suffered defeat away against Spurs. So in this one, I think the pace of Leicester, the guile, they got a fantastic midfield. I think it's going to be 2-0 to the Foxes.
Yeah, this is more than likely going to be a Leicester victory, and I'm going to say 2-1. I think Palace, they're just going to sneak one. I mean, they have been sneaking at least a goal in their heavy defeats, so yeah, 2-1.
Fantastic. So that concludes our predictions for week 33 of the 2020-2021 Premier League season. As usual, I'm going to leave a template of these fixtures in the description. If you'd like to play along at home or to continue to play along at home, then make sure you leave your predictions as a comment. Now, Nathan, before we go, it's coming to the end of the season in the Championship streaming. Tell me about it.
Yes, Wycombe on Saturday. There's actually no more midweek games now for the Championship, so we've got 3 weeks of Championship football, each on a Saturday, which is beneficial to everyone on earth. This weekend, Wycombe.
Fantastic.
We best not lose.
Yeah, fantastic.
3 o'clock on my channel in the description.
Make sure you tune in.
And saying that, one more thing, another manager's been sacked.
Yeah?
Yes, who's the next one?
What, in the Premier League?
Yes. Well, saying that, because we're so close to the end, who's going to be the first out of the door at the end of the season?
Well, obviously the Tottenham manager. They probably got somebody like
Ryan Mason
there. Apart from that, I don't know, maybe Nuno going to Spurs. I could probably see that happening. The Newcastle fans will probably want Steve Bruce out, even though they kind of turned it.
One loss in 6.
Yeah, they've kind of turned it around again. They're blowing hot and cold, those fans up there. Fulham, Scott Parker will probably keep his job unless he's offered a position in the Premier League. Spurs. Yeah, I can't see that happening myself, but I'm not sure. Don't know. How about yourself?
Mine's Big Sam.
He'll probably just leave though.
Second that the season ends, he's straight out of the hall forms.
And he'll probably try and save someone like, well, not Norwich. Who else is going at Watford? He'll probably end up at Watford next season or something, saving them. He'll probably probably pop up in January or February.
Pop up in January or February, and he'll be Watford's 3rd manager of the season. So
brilliant. I think we'll leave it there then, guys. I'm going to watch the end of this Spurs match. Hopefully they can get something out of this for my predictions. Is there anything you'd like to add before we go though, Nathan?
Don't think so.
No, fantastic. Thanks as always for tuning in, taking the time out of your day to watch us. But for now, we'll bid you farewell, and we'll see you all in the next video.
Cheers, guys.